Have you ever felt like life is happening to you, not with you? Like no matter how hard you try, the world keeps handing you setbacks, pain, and frustration. You wake up with hope, but by the afternoon, it's gone, replaced by doubt, worry, and that heavy weight in your chest that never seems to leave. You aren't alone in feeling this. Almost everyone you know lives like this, trapped in a constant storm of problems they can't control. The pain is real. The frustration is real. The exhaustion of trying and failing is real. And the worst part, most people believe this is just how life works. They accept it as inevitable. But what if it isn't? What if there was a way to see something entirely different? A way to shift how your mind reacts to every challenge, every failure, every moment that now feels like it's crushing you? You'd finally feel relief, a spark of light piercing the darkness. You'd start to breathe again. The first thing to understand is that your mind isn't broken. It's not failing you. It's simply wired in a way that makes you see the world through a lens of danger, loss, and disappointment. It's why one criticism can ruin your entire day, why one mistake feels like the end of everything, why every little failure sticks in your mind long after the victory moments fade. Your brain's natural tendency is to focus on what's wrong. It calls it survival, and for centuries it's kept humans alive. But in the world you live in now, this same wiring becomes a prison. It traps you in a cycle of stress, regret, and negativity, making you blind to everything that's actually good. You can't escape it by sheer willpower alone. Telling yourself just think positive doesn't work. That's like trying to lift a boulder with your bare hands. It's frustrating, and it makes you feel weak. But here's the secret almost nobody talks about. Your mind can be trained, not with fluff or blind optimism, but with focus, awareness, and small intentional habits that shift the way you perceive reality. Every moment, you can choose to notice the good, even when everything else seems to be falling apart. It starts with something almost invisible, almost laughably small, a single thought, a single observation, a single decision to catch a sliver of light in the storm. That's the seed. And from that seed, change grows. Slowly at first, almost imperceptibly. But eventually it becomes undeniable. You start to notice patterns you never saw before. You start to feel relief in situations that once drained you completely. You begin to see doors where you only saw walls. Imagine this. A day that would normally crush you instead passes with subtle victories. A conversation that would have filled you with anxiety now leaves a spark of hope. A mistake that would have ruined your evening now becomes a clue, a lesson, a stepping stone. Your mind starts to flip the script on reality itself. Pain becomes a teacher. Stress becomes a signal, not a sentence. Failures become data, not disasters. And in that shift, a remarkable thing happens. You stop fearing life. You stop resisting it. You begin to dance with it, even in the chaos. And the strange paradox is this: the world doesn't change, but your perception does. Your life doesn't suddenly become perfect, but your experience of it becomes richer, lighter, more alive. This isn't some vague promise or wishful thinking. It's science. It's psychology. Every time you consciously catch the good, your brain rewires itself. Dopamine spikes, neural pathways strengthen, gratitude, joy, and resilience become your default, not the exception. And the best part? You don't need to wait for a perfect moment, a miraculous event, or external validation. The power is already in your hands. Every small choice, every tiny shift in focus compounds. The more you notice, the more you see. The more you see, the more you feel. And the more you feel, the more unstoppable you become. Right now, you might feel skeptical. You might feel like this is just another idea that sounds good but doesn't actually work. That doubt is normal. It's your old brain fighting to stay in the familiar storm. But here's the truth. The storm isn't stronger than you. It's only louder because you haven't learned to listen differently. You can start today. One thought, one small notice of something good, and that thought leads to another and another. Slowly, imperceptibly, your mind shifts. And the moment it does, the world itself feels different. You realize that life wasn't stacked against you. You were just looking through the wrong lens. This journey isn't easy. It's not instant. But every step forward is a victory in itself. Every time you catch a spark of light in darkness, You are proving to yourself that you are stronger than the storm, that you can find hope when it seems impossible, that you can turn pain into power. And if you stay with this, if you train your mind with intention, something extraordinary happens. The ordinary moments of life begin to shine. Small joys become breathtaking. Challenges become opportunities. And you finally are free. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Every thought you allow to take root shapes the life you live. Every small shift in perception changes the trajectory of your day, your week, your year. Right now, you might feel powerless, like the challenges you face are too big, too relentless, too unyielding. But that feeling, as heavy as it is exactly the point where transformation begins. The moment you realize that power isn't outside of you, it's inside, everything changes. Your mind is the battlefield, and how you choose to see the world determines who wins. You can keep letting it control you, letting fear and frustration dictate every move, or you can fight back. Quietly, deliberately, with a single choice, to see what others overlook. That choice, repeated again and again, becomes unstoppable momentum. The stakes are higher than you think. Life doesn't pause. Time doesn't wait. Every day you ignore the opportunity to train your mind is another day lost to stress, to regret, to feeling small in a world that demands strength. You might tell yourself that you'll start tomorrow, that you'll change when the pain is too much. But the truth is, that day never comes unless you make it today. Every second you hesitate, your old patterns dig deeper, cementing the habit of focusing on what's wrong, what's missing, what's broken. The mind's natural tendency is to seek out the negative, to obsess over problems, to magnify the smallest threat into a mountain of despair. And if you let it, you will stay trapped in the same cycle, watching life pass by, waiting for miracles that never arrive. But there is another way, a way that requires no luck, no special circumstances, no external rescue. It begins with noticing one thing, one small glimmer of good in a situation that seems hopeless. The trick is not to wait for joy to arrive. You create it, you cultivate it, you catch it, hold it, let it grow. That tiny act, seemingly insignificant, is the first crack in the wall that has been keeping you confined. And once the wall begins to crack, everything behind it starts to crumble. The fear, the anxiety, the sense that life is unfair. You begin to see patterns where you once saw chaos. You begin to find lessons in places you once only saw failure. The mind that once betrayed you becomes your greatest ally. Every time you practice this, every time you deliberately seek out the positive, the good, the silver lining, your brain rewires itself. Synapses fire differently. Connections form where none existed before. Your perception sharpens. You start noticing opportunities instead of obstacles. You begin to see that life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Challenges become fuel. Setbacks become training grounds. Every struggle you endure becomes a building block of resilience. And as your awareness expands, your emotional response transforms. Fear shrinks, stress loses its power, doubt fades into clarity. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the commander of your inner world. The urgency cannot be overstated. This is not a gentle suggestion. This is a call to arms. Your mind, left untrained, will default to negativity, to worry, to distraction, to despair. You cannot wait for the perfect moment to act. It doesn't exist. The world will never hand you certainty, comfort, or clarity. Those who succeed are the ones who take control of their perception, who choose deliberately how they see every moment, who refuse to be slaves to the unconscious patterns that hold them back. The window of opportunity is now, right here, right now. One thought, one recognition of good, one decision to focus, to notice, to feel. It compounds, it multiplies, it grows into an unshakable force. You might feel resistance, a flicker of disbelief. That is normal. Your brain is resisting change because old habits are comfortable even if they hurt. But comfort does not equal freedom. Familiarity does not equal power. To step into the life you want, you must embrace discomfort. You must stretch your perception. You must actively cultivate gratitude, clarity, and awareness, even when it feels unnatural, even when the old patterns scream at you to stop. Because the moment you do, everything shifts. Small victories appear. Subtle joys emerge. the weight on your chest begins to lift. Your days become brighter, your decisions clearer, your relationships deeper. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, you become someone unrecognizable to the person you were yesterday, stronger, wiser, more alive. This is not a promise of perfection, it is a guarantee of change. One thought, one action, one deliberate choice after another reshapes your inner world, which reshapes your outer world. Every time you see the good, your life tilts toward possibility. Every time you notice the light instead of the darkness, the universe conspires with you, not against you. The power was never in avoiding hardship. It was always in learning to see through it, to find the good hidden in every struggle, to turn every challenge into a stepping stone. The storm will come, the pain will come, the uncertainty will come, but you will face it differently. You will meet it with awareness, with clarity, with resilience. You will rise because your mind has been trained to see the good, and in that vision, you are unstoppable. The world will try to convince you that happiness is found outside of yourself, that comfort comes from circumstances, that luck determines who thrives and who struggles. It is a lie. The truth is far simpler, far more powerful. Everything begins with your perception. Every moment, every experience, every interaction carries the potential for growth, for learning, for something good, if you choose to see it. Most people miss this. They stumble through life, eyes fixed on loss, failure, and what is missing. They carry invisible chains forged by habit and conditioned thinking. But you do not have to be one of them. You can break free. Right now, you can choose to see differently. You can choose to notice the good that is quietly waiting to be recognized, to pull it into your consciousness and let it change everything. Your mind is the most valuable tool you will ever own. It is the lens through which you interpret every reality, the filter that colors every experience. If that lens is clouded with negativity, your world will always feel heavy, your achievements hollow, your days long and exhausting. But if you train it, sharpen it, and focus it, the same mind that once trapped you can become your greatest ally. You can turn obstacles into opportunities. You can turn pain into insight. You can turn doubt into a compass guiding you toward growth. Every thought you deliberately shift toward the good builds a new pathway in your brain, a path that becomes easier to follow each time. The first steps are small, almost imperceptible, but they are irreversible once taken. They begin to define you in ways that no external circumstance ever could. Do not underestimate the power of small actions repeated consistently. A single acknowledgement of something positive, even a fleeting moment of gratitude, sends a ripple through your perception. It primes your brain to notice more. And the more you notice, the more you feel. And the more you feel, the more alive you become. The compounding effect is relentless. What starts as a tiny spark can become a blaze that illuminates your entire life. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable become navigable. Stress that once felt suffocating becomes manageable. Situations that would have broken you now shape you, strengthen you, prepare you for more. You begin to see that you are not at the mercy of the world. You are its architect, at least in the realm you control, your mind. Every day you hesitate, every time you dismiss this power, the old patterns tighten their grip. Fear grows, doubt grows, anxiety festers. You cannot wait for clarity to arrive on its own. You cannot wait for circumstances to become perfect. Life will never pause for you. The only way forward is deliberate action. One choice, repeated, 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 until it is no longer a choice but a habit. Until your brain instinctively scans for the good first, not last. Until your default reaction to adversity is not despair, but curiosity, not fear, but awareness. The stakes are not trivial. Your ability to thrive, to experience joy, to live fully depends on it. This is not optional. This is survival, not of the body, but of the mind, the spirit, the life you will lead. Imagine looking back a month from now, a year from now, and realizing you have reshaped the way you experience the world. That the same challenges that once crushed you now propel you. That the same setbacks that once left you defeated now teach you, strengthen you, and illuminate paths you never saw. Imagine waking up each day with a mind primed to notice the good, to recognize opportunity, to extract wisdom from every situation. Imagine the relief, the clarity, the energy that comes from no longer carrying the weight of negativity as your default. The transformation is not abstract. It is tangible. It is immediate. It is waiting. But only if you choose it. The moment to start is now. Every second you hesitate is a second lost to the old patterns, to the habits that keep you small, stuck, and reactive. Every single thought you deliberately shift toward what is good, what is constructive, what is hopeful strengthens the part of you that cannot be broken by circumstance. You are training a muscle invisible to the eye, but unmistakable in effect. Strengthen it, and life bends to your perception. Ignore it, and life continues to feel heavy, unmanageable, and unfair. There is no middle ground. Your choices today define the trajectory of everything you experience tomorrow. Do not wait, do not doubt, focus, see, feel, choose, and slowly, relentlessly, your life will begin to reflect the power you have cultivated inside. This is not about perfection. It is about awareness. It is about resilience. It is about refusing to surrender your mind to automatic negativity. The storm will always come. The pain will always exist. The unexpected will always appear. But with a mind trained to notice the good, nothing can overwhelm you. You will face adversity with clarity. You will meet obstacles with ingenuity. You will greet challenges with confidence. You will become someone unrecognizable to the version of yourself who once felt trapped, powerless, and overwhelmed. You will rise because you chose to see differently. You will rise because you acted. You will rise because your mind is no longer a victim. It is a force. And in that force, nothing, not circumstance, not chaos, not loss can stop you. Every challenge you face is an invitation. Every hardship is a test of how fiercely you can choose to see differently. The world will push against you, against your optimism, against your resolve, because old patterns are strong. They fight to keep you trapped in the same cycles that everyone else suffers through. But you are not like everyone else. You have already glimpsed what most never notice, the power of perspective, the hidden leverage in your own mind. And that power is alive, waiting to be claimed. Each time you choose awareness over reaction, gratitude over complaint, hope over despair, you stake a claim in a life most people only dream of. The stakes could not be higher, because the longer you wait, the more entrenched the old habits become. Time does not pause. Life does not wait for clarity. Your opportunity exists only in the moments you seize it. Imagine a life where the ordinary is extraordinary, where setbacks become instruction, where criticism becomes insight, where the unexpected becomes a puzzle you solve instead of a storm that drags you under. That life is not a fantasy. It exists for anyone willing to train their mind to notice the good, even when everything else seems to scream no. Most people never see it. They live in perpetual reaction, bouncing between frustration and numbness, convinced that control lies outside of themselves. They are blind to the simple truth: control is always internal. It begins with one thought, one acknowledgement, one deliberate shift in focus. And the moment you take it seriously, the world starts to bend toward you. The urgency is undeniable. Every day spent ignoring this truth is a day lost to struggle, anxiety, and unfulfilled potential. Your old patterns, left unchecked, do not quietly fade. They grow. They tighten their grip on your mind, your emotions, your very experience of life. Waiting is surrender. Hesitation is defeat. Every second matters. Every thought matters. And every choice compounds. Start small. Notice one thing that went right. A sound, a smile, a fleeting moment of connection. Let it register. Let it sink. Let it spark a shift. Then another and another. Each one builds momentum, rewiring your perception, turning subtle sparks into a flame that lights your entire inner world. When your mind begins to notice the good automatically, everything changes. Stress loses its power. Challenges become opportunities. Fear becomes information, not a cage. Pain becomes a teacher, not a sentence. The world does not have to get easier for you to thrive, because you will have trained yourself to find strength where others see only weakness. You will begin to see patterns invisible to most, lessons hidden in failures, opportunities hidden in setbacks, and slowly, relentlessly, you will become someone unrecognizable to the person who once felt powerless, overwhelmed, and trapped. That transformation is real, it is tangible, and it starts the moment you act. Do not underestimate the compounding effect of this practice. One acknowledgement of good leads to another. One deliberate shift builds on the last. Your brain forms new pathways, stronger, faster, more resilient. What was once difficult becomes automatic. What once required effort becomes second nature. And the more natural it becomes, the less you can imagine going back to the old way. You will carry the skill into every interaction, every decision, every obstacle. Life will not be simpler, but your ability to navigate it will be unmatched. You will experience clarity, energy, and freedom in ways that feel impossible to those still trapped in negativity. The storm will come. Chaos will arrive. Pain will knock at your door. But you will meet it differently. You will see it, acknowledge, extract what is valuable, and move forward. No longer a victim, you will be a participant, an architect, a force of nature in your own life. Every step you take, every moment you train your mind, compounds. Every shift strengthens your resilience, sharpens your focus, and deepens your joy. The world will challenge you relentlessly, but you will respond with precision, clarity, and power. You will no longer be at the mercy of circumstance. You will bend reality not by changing the world, but by changing the lens through which you see it. This is not theory, it is practice, it is choice, it is action, and it is urgent. The longer you delay, the more entrenched the old patterns become. The longer you wait, the more you miss, the more your life is dictated by automatic negativity. The difference between those who endure and those who thrive is the willingness to act now, to see what others ignore, to notice the good when everything screams otherwise. It is relentless. It is immediate. It is unstoppable once you commit. The storm will never stop coming, but with a trained mind, it will never stop you. Every challenge, every hardship, every moment becomes fuel. Every day becomes an opportunity to strengthen your mind, sharpen your perception, and expand your capacity for life. Choose now. Start today. Train your mind, see the good, and watch yourself rise beyond anything you ever imagined. Every moment you hesitate is a moment the old patterns tighten their grip. Every thought you let pass without control is a thought that reinforces negativity, doubt, and fear. You cannot afford to wait for the perfect circumstances. They will never arrive. Life is chaos, unpredictable, relentless. If you do not act now, the opportunity to reshape your mind slips away with every second. But if you act, even in the smallest way, you ignite a chain reaction that can transform everything. One conscious decision to notice the good is enough to break the cycle. One deliberate thought toward hope is enough to shift your perception. One refusal to let despair dominate is enough to begin a revolution inside your mind. And once that revolution starts, it cannot be stopped. Think about how much of your life has been dictated by automatic reactions. The fear that froze you, the frustration that consumed you, the disappointment that clouded every decision. All of it is a product of habits, of neural pathways worn deep by repetition. But the same pathways that have limited you can be reshaped. Every act of attention, every conscious acknowledgement of something positive strengthens new circuits. You are building a mental fortress, brick by brick, thought by thought. And the more you build, the stronger it becomes, until the storms that once broke you now only prove your strength. The world will continue to test you, but each test becomes easier, each challenge more navigable, each setback a stepping stone rather than a trap. The stakes could not be higher. Every day you ignore this power is another day lost to stress, to regret, to mediocrity. Every day you allow automatic negativity to guide your thoughts is a day your potential is squandered. You must see the urgency, feel it in your chest, and act with it in mind. This is not optional. This is survival, not of the body, but of your mind, your spirit, your capacity to experience life fully. The difference between someone who thrives and someone who struggles endlessly is not circumstance. It is perception. It is the ability to notice what is good when everything seems to scream otherwise. It is the ability to extract value, meaning, and opportunity from what others dismiss as pain. That skill, once cultivated, is unstoppable. Picture yourself 6 months from now, having trained your mind to notice the good. Challenges that once paralyzed you now inspire strategy. Failures that once crushed you now reveal lessons. Relationships that once frustrated you now spark insight and gratitude. Your life does not need to become perfect. Perfection is an illusion. But your experience of it, your perception of the world, becomes richer, sharper, more alive. You begin to move through life with a sense of power, clarity, and resilience that others only dream of. You become unshakable, not because the world has changed, but because your mind has. Every setback becomes fuel. Every obstacle becomes a guidepost. Every moment of discomfort becomes training for the extraordinary life you are building. Do not underestimate the compounding force of this practice. One moment of awareness leads to another. One conscious decision builds momentum. Neural pathways strengthen. Habits shift. Your perspective sharpens. Slowly, relentlessly, your mind begins to anticipate the good before the bad, to see opportunity before threat, to extract meaning before chaos. You are no longer a passive participant in your life. You are a commander. Every challenge, every disappointment, every crisis becomes a chance to reinforce the habit, to strengthen the skill, to expand your capacity for life. The mind is like a muscle, and the one you train the most shapes everything you experience. The storm will always come. The unexpected will always arrive. Pain will knock at your door. But when your mind is trained, it meets every challenge with clarity, with control, with strength. You will see the hidden gifts others miss. You will find lessons where others only see loss. You will extract hope from chaos, power from struggle, light from darkness. Your life becomes a reflection not of what happens to you, but of how you see it. And that vision is unstoppable. Now is the moment. Every second you delay strengthens the old patterns, deepens the grip of automatic negativity, and postpones the life you are capable of experiencing. Every thought you deliberately shift toward the good builds momentum that compounds, that grows, that becomes unstoppable. You cannot afford to wait. You cannot afford to hesitate. The power is in your hands, in your focus, in your awareness, in the choices you make now. Start small. Notice one thing that is good. Let it grow, repeat, multiply, strengthen, and with each moment you are no longer the person you were. You are someone stronger, sharper, and alive in ways you have never imagined. The storm is inevitable, but with a trained mind, it will never stop you. You will rise, relentless, unstoppable, unshakable, because you chose to see the good, and in that choice you become limitless. The moment you decide to see the good, everything shifts. You start to notice patterns you never saw before. Moments that once seemed meaningless now carry hidden value. Conversations, setbacks, challenges, each one becomes a teacher, each one a step forward. The mind is a filter, and when you adjust it, the world itself appears transformed. The stress that once crushed you becomes manageable. The fear that once froze you becomes a signal, not a sentence. The obstacles that once blocked your path now illuminate the way forward. You begin to realize that power has never been in circumstances, luck, or other people. It has always been in the way you perceive them. Every thought you choose, every moment you deliberately notice the good strengthens that power. It compounds, it multiplies, it becomes unstoppable. Time does not wait. Every second you postpone this choice is a second lost to old patterns, to automatic negativity, to frustration and regret. Life will not pause for you to feel ready. The storm will not stop until you are prepared. And the longer you delay, the heavier the weight becomes, the louder the doubts grow, the more entrenched the old habits get. But if you act, if you commit, if you refuse to let despair dominate, you set off a chain reaction that can transform every area of your life. The first acknowledgement of good is small, almost invisible, but it is enough to start a cascade. Each moment of awareness, each deliberate choice to see opportunity builds momentum. It strengthens your mind, sharpens your perception, and rewires your brain to default toward hope, resilience, and clarity. Do not underestimate the stakes. Every day you ignore this is a day that could have been transformed. Every moment wasted is a moment that strengthens patterns of negativity and fear. The difference between those who thrive and those who drift is the ability to notice what others miss. It is the ability to find light in darkness, opportunity in chaos, lessons in setbacks. That skill is not granted. It is built, it is forged, it is earned through awareness, choice, and relentless practice. And once built, it is unshakable. Once trained, your mind becomes a fortress, an engine, a lens through which life itself bends toward possibility. You become someone who cannot be derailed because you have trained yourself to see differently. Imagine a day where the first challenge does not crush you. Imagine facing criticism, failure, or disappointment and responding not with despair, but with clarity. Imagine stress becoming information, setbacks becoming training, pain becoming insight. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The challenges you feared now teach you. The situations you dreaded now empower you. And in that clarity, you feel a freedom you have never known. The freedom of being unshakable, unstoppable, and alive in a way the world cannot take from you. Every small act of noticing good, every deliberate choice to shift your perspective, compounds until life itself becomes something you shape rather than something that happens to you. The urgency is real. Hesitation strengthens old patterns. Doubt reinforces fear. Delay hands power to automatic negativity. But action, even tiny action, sets off a chain reaction. One thought, one acknowledgement of good, one deliberate focus, that is all it takes to start changing your inner world. The brain begins to rewire. The mind begins to sharpen. The heart begins to feel what it has long been missing: resilience, clarity, and purpose. And once you feel it, there is no going back. You will carry that awareness into every interaction, every decision, every moment. Life does not need to become easier. You become stronger. You become more capable. You become alive. The storm will always come. Chaos will always knock. Pain will always appear. But with a trained mind, you meet it differently. You extract opportunity from adversity, lessons from setbacks, power from struggle. You rise not because life has changed, but because your perception has. Every challenge strengthens you. Every hardship instructs you. Every moment becomes a chance to reinforce the skill that makes you unstoppable. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstance. You are a force in your own life, shaping it with the clarity, focus, and awareness that most never achieve. The choice is yours. Act now. Train your mind, see the good, and rise beyond anything you ever imagined possible. The power to change your life is in your hands, in the way you see, in the way you choose to respond. Every moment you waste believing the world is against you is a moment the storm wins. But every moment you train your mind to notice the good, to find opportunity in the struggle, to see lessons in setbacks, is a moment you reclaim control. It starts small. A single thought, a single acknowledgement, a single deliberate focus. That is enough to ignite a ripple. That ripple grows, moves, multiplies. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes, until it shapes every experience, every interaction, every day. You are building a life not by waiting for circumstances to change, but by mastering the lens through which you see them. You cannot afford to wait. Every hesitation, every second of doubt, strengthens old patterns of fear, anxiety, and frustration. Your brain will default to what it knows: automatic negativity, old habits, reactive thinking. If you let it, you will remain trapped in the same cycle, watching others succeed while you struggle, watching life happen to everyone else while you stay on the sidelines. But the moment you choose differently, everything changes. You take the first step into freedom. You claim the power that was always yours. One acknowledgement of good becomes two, then three, then a flood of awareness that reshapes your perception of reality. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The impossible begins to feel attainable. The storms of life do not disappear, but they no longer control you. Imagine facing the same challenges that once defeated you and feeling calm, clear, and unshakable. Imagine stress becoming a signal, setbacks becoming lessons, pain becoming fuel. You begin to move through life with precision, with focus, with the awareness that allows you to extract value from every situation. Every difficulty becomes an opportunity to strengthen the mental muscle you are building, to reinforce the pathways that make resilience automatic, to expand the part of you that thrives under pressure rather than collapses. This is not a hypothetical. This is the real power of deliberately noticing the good, of consciously training your perception. And once you feel it, there is no going back. The stakes are immense. Every day you ignore this is a day lost to frustration, regret, and limitations imposed by your untrained mind. Every thought you let slip into negativity compounds, solidifying patterns that make you reactive, anxious, and drained. Every delayed choice strengthens the storm instead of weakening it. But act, even in the smallest way, and you set in motion a force that cannot be stopped. One conscious thought, one deliberate recognition of what is good, one moment of focus. That is all it takes to start bending your reality. The brain rewires. Perception sharpens, awareness deepens. You begin to experience life differently, fully, intensely, with clarity and power that most never reach. Do not underestimate what is possible. The mind is not a prisoner. It is a muscle, a tool, a force that, once trained, shapes everything it touches. You can take pain and turn it into insight. You can take disappointment and turn it into growth. You can take chaos and turn it into opportunity. The storms will come. They will be relentless. But you will meet them with clarity, with strategy, with resilience. You will rise because your mind has been trained to see what others miss, to notice what others ignore, to find the good in places most people cannot even imagine. Every challenge becomes fuel. Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every moment is a chance to reinforce the skill that makes you unstoppable. Now is the time. The second you delay, the old patterns grow stronger, the weight of untrained thought compounds, the opportunity slips further away. You cannot wait for the perfect moment. It does not exist. You act now or remain bound to the life you've always known. One thought, one acknowledgement, one choice. That is enough to begin. Repeat it, strengthen it, multiply it, let it grow. Slowly, relentlessly, your perception sharpens. Slowly, relentlessly, your awareness expands. Slowly, relentlessly, your life begins to reflect the power you have built inside. The storm will not stop coming. The chaos will not cease. But with a trained mind, it will never stop you. You will rise. You will endure. You will thrive. You will become unstoppable because you chose to see the good. And in that choice, you unlock a life beyond anything you ever imagined. The moment you commit to seeing the good, the world begins to shift under your feet. Every situation that once felt like a trap now carries possibility. Every setback that once crushed your spirit now holds a lesson, a hidden gift, a spark you can ignite. The mind that once reacted with fear, doubt, and frustration begins to operate differently. It begins to scan for opportunity, to find clarity in chaos, to extract value from what others dismiss as pain. You are no longer a passenger. You are the driver, the architect, the force shaping your own life. And the more you exercise this skill, the stronger, sharper, and more unstoppable you become. Every second counts. Every thought matters. The habits you allow to persist shape the trajectory of your life. Every delay strengthens patterns of negativity, reinforces fear, and hands control of your experience to circumstances outside your control. You cannot wait for clarity. You cannot wait for life to get easier. The storms will come, relentless and unforgiving. The challenges will arrive, unpredictable and demanding. The pain will knock, insistently and repeatedly. But when your mind is trained to see the good, none of it can stop you. Every obstacle becomes fuel. Every hardship becomes practice. Every moment, no matter how difficult, becomes an opportunity to strengthen the skill that separates those who endure from those who thrive. Imagine facing the same challenges that once crushed you and meeting them with calm, precision, and clarity. Imagine stress becoming insight, failures becoming lessons, pain becoming power. You begin to move through life with awareness that most never reach. You notice opportunities where others see dead ends. You extract hope where others see despair. You act with intention where others react blindly. This is not theory. It is practice. It is action. It is choice. And each choice compounds, strengthens, and accelerates your ability to thrive in ways the untrained mind cannot comprehend. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The impossible begins to feel attainable. You are building a life not by waiting for the world to change, but by mastering the way you perceive it. The urgency is absolute. Hesitation strengthens old habits. Doubt reinforces fear. Delay compounds the weight of untrained thought, making every day heavier, every decision harder, every opportunity less visible. Every moment you ignore this, you risk remaining trapped, reacting automatically, living a life defined by circumstance rather than design. But act, even in the smallest way, and you begin to dismantle that trap. One acknowledgement of good, one deliberate focus, one conscious choice. That is enough to set off a chain reaction that reshapes perception, rewires the brain, and transforms your experience of reality. Each repetition strengthens the pathways of resilience, clarity, and awareness until they become automatic, unstoppable, irreversible. Do not underestimate what is possible. The mind is not a prisoner. It is a tool, a weapon, a force. Once trained, it shapes everything it touches. Pain becomes insight. Frustration becomes fuel. Setbacks become opportunities. The storms will come. The challenges will test you. The unexpected will strike without warning. But with a trained mind, you meet them differently. You extract value from adversity. You find lessons in chaos. You convert struggle into power. You rise above not because circumstances have changed, but because your perception has. Every moment, every challenge, every hardship strengthens you, sharpens you, and prepares you for more. The choice is yours. Every second you wait strengthens old patterns, deepens automatic negativity, and delays the life you are capable of living. One thought, one acknowledgement of good, one conscious choice is all it takes to begin. Repeat it, multiply it, let it grow. With each deliberate moment, your perception sharpens. Your awareness expands. Your life reflects the power you are building inside. The storm will not cease. Chaos will continue. Pain will knock. But with a trained mind, it will never stop you. You will rise. You will endure. You will thrive. You will become unstoppable, unshakable, and alive beyond anything you ever imagined because you chose to see the good. And in that choice, you unlock your limitless potential. Every thought you allow shapes the life you live. Every moment you choose awareness over reaction builds a force that cannot be broken. The world will continue to challenge you. Setbacks will appear without warning. Pain will arrive relentlessly. But the trained mind sees differently. It notices opportunities hidden in the chaos. It extracts lessons from failure. It finds hope where others see despair. Every experience becomes fuel. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone. Every difficulty is a chance to strengthen the inner skill that makes you unshakable. You are no longer bound by circumstance. You are no longer at the mercy of automatic reactions. You are deliberate. You are aware. You are unstoppable. The stakes could not be higher. Every hesitation strengthens old patterns of fear, frustration, and negativity. Every second spent waiting is a second that reinforces the life you have always known. The life defined by reaction, doubt, and limitation. You cannot afford to delay. Time moves forward regardless of your readiness. Every moment you postpone action is a moment surrendered to the storm. But every deliberate choice to notice the good is a moment reclaimed. Every single acknowledgement of what is positive, every conscious decision to shift focus, compounds. Momentum grows, habits solidify, resilience strengthens. Your perception changes, and the life you thought was unreachable begins to feel attainable. Imagine facing the same challenges that once overwhelmed you and responding with clarity, calm, and confidence. Imagine stress becoming a signal, mistakes becoming lessons, pain becoming fuel. You begin to move through life with precision, extracting value from moments others dismiss. You notice opportunities in chaos. You act with intention where others react blindly. You are no longer a passive observer. You are the architect of your own experience. Each challenge becomes practice. Each setback becomes training. Each hardship becomes an instrument shaping the strongest, sharpest, most resilient version of yourself. This is not theory. This is reality for anyone who commits to seeing the good, even when everything screams otherwise. Urgency is real. Hesitation strengthens the old mind. Delay reinforces automatic negativity. Every moment ignored is a moment that compounds stress, fear, and limitation. Life does not pause. Circumstances will never become perfect on their own. The storms will not stop. Challenges will continue. Pain will knock. You cannot wait. You must act. One thought, one acknowledgement of good, one deliberate focus is enough to start the transformation. Repeat it, strengthen it, multiply it. Each repetition rewires your brain, reinforces your resilience, and expands your capacity to thrive. What once felt impossible becomes attainable. What once felt overwhelming becomes navigable. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are a force of nature in your own life. The mind is a tool, a weapon, a force beyond measure. Train it, and it shapes everything it touches. Pain becomes insight. Frustration becomes fuel. Setbacks become opportunities. The storms will come. They will test you. They will push relentlessly. But a trained mind meets them with clarity, with awareness, with control. You extract opportunity from adversity. You find lessons in chaos. You convert struggle into strength. You rise not because circumstances change, but because your perception does. Every moment becomes a chance to reinforce the skill that makes you unstoppable. Every challenge strengthens you. Every hardship teaches you. Every difficulty becomes a platform for growth. Now is the time. Every second of delay strengthens old patterns and delays the life you are capable of living. One thought, one acknowledgement, one deliberate choice is all it takes to begin. Repeat it, multiply it, let it grow. With each moment, your perception sharpens, your awareness expands. Your life begins to reflect the power you have built inside. The storm will not cease, chaos will not end, pain will continue. But with a trained mind, it will never stop you. You will rise, you will endure, you will thrive. You will become unshakable, unstoppable, and alive beyond anything you have ever imagined because you chose to see the good. And in that choice, you unlock a life of limitless potential. The moment you truly commit to seeing the good, nothing can hold you back. Every challenge that once felt unbearable now carries a hidden opportunity. Every setback that once crushed your spirit now contains lessons waiting to be claimed. The mind that once reacted with fear, doubt, and frustration begins to operate differently. It seeks clarity. It notices possibilities. It extracts value from situations others dismiss as hopeless. You are no longer bound by circumstance. You are no longer trapped by automatic reactions. You are deliberate, aware, and unstoppable. Every choice you make compounds. Every acknowledgement of good strengthens the pathways of resilience, focus, and power inside your mind. Time is the enemy of hesitation. Every second you wait reinforces old patterns of negativity, strengthens fear, and tightens the grip of automatic reactions. You cannot wait for life to become easier. You cannot wait for circumstances to change. The storms will come relentlessly. Challenges will appear without warning. Pain will knock repeatedly. But the trained mind meets them differently. It extracts opportunity from adversity. It finds lessons hidden in chaos. It transforms struggle into strength. Every moment of awareness becomes a stepping stone toward mastery. Every deliberate thought shapes a life most people only dream of. You are building a fortress within yourself, a mind that cannot be shaken by circumstance, a life that is unstoppable by design. Imagine waking up each day with clarity instead of fear, facing setbacks with strategy instead of despair, meeting criticism with insight instead of defensiveness. Every situation becomes a chance to exercise your mind, to strengthen your perception, to notice what others overlook. Stress becomes manageable, obstacles become navigable, pain becomes fuel. You begin to feel a freedom most never know. The freedom of being unshakable, of seeing clearly in chaos, of rising above every difficulty because you control the lens through which you view it. Your experience of life is no longer dictated by circumstance. It is dictated by the skill you cultivate within, by the deliberate attention you give to noticing the good. The stakes are immense. Every hesitation, every delay, every second spent ignoring this truth strengthens old habits, reinforces fear, and compounds limitation. Life does not pause. The storms will not cease. Circumstances will not improve by chance. You cannot wait. Action is not optional. It is essential. One acknowledgement of good, one deliberate choice to notice opportunity, one conscious shift in perspective. That is all it takes to ignite transformation. Repeat it, strengthen it, multiply it. Each repetition compounds, rewires your mind, and makes resilience automatic. What once seemed impossible now becomes attainable. What once felt overwhelming now becomes navigable. You are no longer a victim. You are a force shaping your own life. The mind is your greatest tool, your most powerful weapon, the engine of everything you experience. Train it, and it shapes the world around you. Pain becomes insight, frustration becomes fuel, setbacks become opportunity, chaos becomes guidance. The storms will come. They will test you relentlessly. But the trained mind meets them with clarity, with control, with power. You extract value where others see loss. You find lessons where others see failure. You convert struggle into strength. You rise because your perception has been sharpened, because your awareness has been strengthened, because you have chosen to see the good. Every challenge reinforces your resilience. Every hardship strengthens your skill. Every difficulty becomes a platform for growth. Now is the moment. Every second you delay strengthens old patterns and postpones the life you are capable of living. One thought, one acknowledgement of good, one deliberate act is all it takes to begin. Repeat it, multiply it, let it grow. With every moment, your perception sharpens. Your awareness expands. Your life begins to reflect the power you are building inside. The storm will not stop. Chaos will continue. Pain will knock, but with a trained mind, it will never stop you. You will rise. You will endure. You will thrive. You will become unshakable, unstoppable, and alive beyond anything you have ever imagined, because you chose to see the good. And in that choice, you unlock a life of limitless potential, a life designed by your own deliberate focus, a life that no circumstance can take from you. Every challenge you face is a test of your perception. Every hardship is a chance to exercise the skill that will make you unstoppable. The world will throw obstacles at you without warning. Pain will arrive uninvited. Frustration will knock at your door relentlessly. But the trained mind sees differently. It notices opportunity where others see dead ends. It finds lessons where others see failure. It extracts strength where others see only weakness. Every moment becomes fuel. Every difficulty becomes a stepping stone. Every setback is a chance to grow stronger, faster, sharper, more capable than you ever imagined. You are no longer bound by circumstance. You are no longer at the mercy of automatic reactions. You are deliberate. You are aware. You are unstoppable. Time is unforgiving. Every second you hesitate reinforces old patterns of fear, doubt, and negativity. Every moment spent waiting allows the storms to tighten their grip. Life does not pause. Circumstances do not improve on their own. Every second you delay is a second handed to chaos. But every deliberate acknowledgement of good is a victory. Every conscious choice to shift your focus is a step toward freedom. Each act compounds, strengthens, and accelerates the transformation within. You are building a fortress of perception, a mind unshakable by circumstance, a life designed by awareness rather than reaction. Picture yourself facing the same challenges that once crushed you and responding with clarity, calm, and precision. Stress becomes information. Mistakes become lessons. Pain becomes fuel. You move through life with focus and awareness others never reach. You see opportunities where others see failure. You act with intention where others react blindly. Every moment is practice. Every difficulty is training. Every hardship is a platform for growth. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The impossible becomes attainable. This is not theory. It is action. It is choice. It is power. And each repetition compounds, rewires your mind, and strengthens your capacity to thrive in ways most people never imagine. The urgency cannot be overstated. Hesitation strengthens old habits. Delay reinforces fear. Every moment ignored compounds stress, doubt, and limitation. You cannot wait. You cannot hope for perfect conditions. The storms will not stop. Challenges will continue. Pain will knock repeatedly. You must act now. One acknowledgement of good, one deliberate shift in focus, one conscious choice. That is all it takes to ignite transformation. Repeat it, multiply it, let it grow. The mind rewires. Resilience strengthens. Awareness deepens. What once felt impossible becomes attainable. What once felt overwhelming becomes navigable. You are no longer a victim. You are a force shaping your own life. The mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It can be your greatest ally or your fiercest enemy. Train it, and it shapes everything it touches. Pain becomes insight. Frustration becomes fuel. Setbacks become opportunity. Chaos becomes guidance. The storms will come. They will test you relentlessly. But a trained mind meets them with clarity, with focus, with control. You extract value from adversity. You find lessons in chaos. You convert struggle into strength. You rise not because circumstances change, but because your perception has been sharpened. Every challenge reinforces your resilience. Every hardship strengthens your skill. Every difficulty becomes a platform for growth. Now is the moment. Every second you delay strengthens old patterns, compounds automatic negativity, and postpones the life you are capable of living. One thought, one acknowledgement, one deliberate act is enough to begin. Repeat it, multiply it, let it grow. With every moment, your perception sharpens, your awareness expands, your life begins to reflect the power you are building inside. The storm will not cease, chaos will not end, pain will continue. But with a trained mind, it will never stop you. You will rise, you will endure, you will thrive. You will become unshakable, unstoppable, and alive beyond anything you have ever imagined because you chose to see the good. And in that choice, you unlock a life of limitless potential, a life shaped by your own awareness, a life no circumstance can take from you. Every thought you take control of is a victory. Every moment you choose awareness over reaction strengthens the force within you. Life will continue to throw obstacles, pain, and chaos in your path. The storms are relentless. Setbacks will come without warning. Frustration will arrive uninvited. But a trained mind sees differently. It finds opportunity where others see failure. It discovers lessons where others see loss. It extracts strength where others see weakness. Every moment becomes fuel. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone. Every hardship becomes a platform for growth. You are no longer ruled by circumstance. You are no longer bound by automatic reactions. You are deliberate. You are aware. You are unstoppable. Time is unforgiving. Every second you hesitate strengthens old patterns of fear, doubt, and negativity. Every moment you delay hands power over to automatic reactions, letting stress, worry, and frustration solidify their grip. Life does not wait. Circumstances do not improve on their own. Every second you postpone action is a second the storms tighten their hold. But every deliberate acknowledgement of good is a victory. Every conscious choice to shift focus is a step toward freedom. Each act compounds, strengthens, and accelerates transformation. You are building a fortress within yourself, a mind that cannot be shaken by circumstance, a life defined by awareness rather than reaction. Imagine facing the same challenges that once defeated you and responding with clarity, calm, and precision. Stress becomes information, mistakes become lessons, pain becomes fuel. You move through life with a focus others never reach. You notice opportunities in situations others dismiss. You act with intention where others react blindly. Every difficulty becomes practice. Every setback becomes training. Every hardship becomes a chance to strengthen resilience. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The impossible begins to feel attainable. This is not theory. It is action. It is choice. It is power. And every repetition compounds, rewires your mind, and strengthens your capacity to thrive beyond what most people imagine. The urgency cannot be overstated. Hesitation reinforces old habits.